Infernal blessings. We are back with another video. Before I begin, just a couple quick announcements. If you're interested in signing up for classes, the way to sign up for the classes that I offer is to go to the official Primordial Chaos Patreon page, patreon.com/Baniti, B-A-N-I-T-I. That's patreon.com/Baniti, B-A-N-I-T-I. Tier 3 is the way you want to go. If you join Tier 3, that gives you access to the 3 private classes I do every month on Patreon for Patreon members only. And it also gives you access to the group ritual we do together at the end of the month. If you're interested in a spiritual reading or a spiritual consultation, I offer various different types of readings: Clepothic demonic readings, Egyptian oracle readings, shadow work readings, as I've said a million times. Always great to do shadow work, uncover the shadow or the hidden self, see what's going on around you in the current moment, what you need to be focusing on, things of that nature. If you're interested also in signing up for the 6th annual Journey of the Black Adept Conference, that is in full effect. You can sign up and register for that now. That will take place October 19th to the 22nd. It is a 4-day event. Begins on Thursday the 19th with the meet and greet. Friday and Saturday from 9 to 4 p.m. we have classes, workshops, presentations. Also on Friday and Saturday evening, after the classes and presentations over, we take a break, go rest for a little bit, and come back in the evening on both nights. And we do group ritual work on both of those nights, followed by a group dinner and some socializing, some hanging out, some having some fun and all that good stuff. I close out the event on Sunday from noon to 4 p.m. I'll be doing a Q&A session. We'll be talking about everything in the occult. We'll be talking about what transpired the 4 days of the conference, or any questions that people might have on the occult or the left-hand path. Okay, so if you want to sign up or register for that, or schedule a book or reading, shoot me an email at khnum19@gmail.com, and I will send you information on either how to sign up for the conference, if you want to book a reading, any of those aforementioned things. Just shoot me an email and I'll send you that information. Also, keep in mind, all this content is also being uploaded to the Primordial Chaos podcast, which can be found on Spotify and all major podcast platforms. The direct link to the podcast, along with my email address and the direct link to the Patreon page to sign up for classes, is in the description box of this video you're watching right now. Also, keep in mind, when you sign up for classes, if you join Tier 3 on Patreon, you don't just get access from the day you join moving forward. You also get access to everything in the archives, which goes back quite a bit now, a couple of years. There's tons of material, classes, totally different from what I do here on YouTube, as far as definitely more personal. We go in depth on the Patreon, and you'll see when you sign up. And we have a bunch of ongoing series covering pretty much every topic you can pretty much think of for the most part. You'll see all the ongoing series on there: shadow work class, ancient Egyptian vampiric class, Sith classes, esoterical occult Bible study class, Clepothic sorcery, Luciferian magic, and self-mastery. The list goes on and on. These are all ongoing series, in addition to new material always being added. All right, but anyway, all the information is in the description box of this video, if you need to reach out in regards to any of the aforementioned. All right, heavens today, see the topic. I want to talk about something that always comes up off and on, a very popular topic in the occult, the Demiurge, right? I always get emails on this. People always ask questions on this on the YouTube lives. There's so many different perspectives of it. So I think this is something, like karma, we kind of need to hash out, right? So let me tell you what it's not, okay? And then I'll tell you what it is, okay? And I'm also, let me also put it this way, what I don't teach it as. People have spooked the Demiurge out like many other things on this path, unfortunately, they've turned the demiurge into this form of religious hell. They won't come out straight and say it, but they've literally turned it into, in my opinion, another form or concept of hell. Okay? The demiurge is not a literal place where there's some beings called archons, right, that can eat and devour you. Okay? As I've said before in the past, if you believe and accept that, you are also accepting that there is something that you are inferior, that is outside of, that you are inferior to, that exists, outside of yourself. You wouldn't be able to be on the path to self-mastery. You wouldn't be able to make the claim that you are the ruler of your spiritual sovereignty. And you wouldn't be able to lay the claim that you're God and goddess. It just wouldn't apply, right? That takes you right back to religious thought. Just like hell isn't a literal place, neither is heaven, right? These are all states of mind. With the demiurge, though, it goes a little bit deeper, right? Heaven and hell was the same. They used in religion and monotheism, they used the same ideology and mythology to create through this fiction and stamped it in the hearts and minds of people worldwide, who many now accept and believe that these are literal, actual places, okay? Well, I see a lot of this on the occult and the left-hand path where people literally think the demiurge is a literal place. I get emails about this, so I'm basing it on the emails and the questions that I get. Yeah, whoa. So what happens when you go to this place, the demiurge, this and that? Can these archon beings eat and devour you? All right. First of all, if you understand the clear path, which most don't, who claim to be on the occult or the left-hand path, if you understand the void, the abyss, the citra acra into the void, and all of those aspects of the occult, you would know that this deals with the deep aspect of your subconscious mind. Okay? When you are doing, whether it's telepathic work, when you are doing shadow work, and you are tapping into the astral realms and the astral planes, whatever you want to call it, you are tapping into all aspect of energy. You are opening the psyche to your subconscious mind on a multitude of perspectives. Okay? You are open. Not only are you tapping into spiritual things that you would label good, you are also tapping into a lot of monsters and demons, and these are self-created. These are things you've absorbed. These are things you've tapped into from a small childhood to the present. This is the low vibrational frequency aspect of your subconscious mind, where you've stored all your fears, where you've created these monsters from a small child to the present that you fear. Okay? So it is a place you can tap into mentally that can devour you and cause you problems. When I say devour you, it can really create blockages on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. Now, these beings that people call archons, these are vibrational, these are beings that vibrate on that low frequency. And you've created them through your fears. Okay? We have to get locked in our head. It's quite simple. What we accept as our own personal reality or truth becomes real. So let me give you an example. Just like the Christian, the Muslim, and Jew has accepted the ideology that there is a heaven and hell, they've stamped it in their heart and mind. To them, it's real. Now, factually, they can't prove it, but in their heart and their mind, it's real. It's the same thing if I said to somebody on the occult, if I said to you, if you believe the demiurge is a literal place, you wouldn't be able to prove it to me, other than what you believe in your mind. And we grasp these concepts because they're introduced from something, somebody, a book, a spiritual system, a dogma, or whatever. Okay? Understand the power of your mind. Your mind shapes, informs, and creates what you embrace or accept. And unfortunately, not all of it is good. Okay? Not all of it is good, because there's so much stuff that you've exposed and opened your mind to, it can be a bit challenging trying to assimilate to it. So this demiurge topic comes up. You can read about it in many different occult books. There's different concepts and perspectives on it. I mean, you choose what you want to accept and believe. First of all, I don't believe anything. Okay? I don't have blind faith in belief. Right? So that word, be careful when you throw that word around, because people will ask that, do you believe in this or that? Do you believe in the demiurge? No, I don't believe in anything. Okay? The only thing I accept is things I can confirm for myself. When I come to the realization of the reality and the truth of something, that's when it becomes real to me. Okay? Now, you could have a personal belief in something, not blind faith belief, but personal belief in something based on your experience with it. To others, it may not be real, but to you, it's very real. So I only accept things I can confirm and things that I have experienced. Okay? So when people word a question, do you believe in such and such? I have to stop you there and ask you, from what perspective are you coming with the word belief? Because religious people believe in anything they're told. So we have to be careful not to use that on this path. Do you believe? First, the only thing you should have belief in is yourself and what you've confirmed and proven through your experience and your work. So back to the demiurge. Stop getting fascinated with shit or particular things that feed off of your fears and your emotions. Because a lot of people, as I said in the beginning of the video, they've turned this into another form of hell. No, I do not believe it's a literal place. I do not believe it's a place you can go and be tortured by some beings called archons. Then I would be saying I have no control over my spiritual path whatsoever. How does that differ from a religious person who has to do right, follow the rules? If they don't, they go to a place called hell where they'll be tortured for this, that, and the other. How is that different? What is it we would be doing that's anything different than religious people would be doing? Just like we're not waiting around for anybody to come popping out of the sky to save us, because they've been telling that lie for years. And if we believe that lie, we'll be waiting till we're all old and decrepit and transition on, and the next set of people behind us will be waiting, and then they'll be long gone, and then the next set of people behind them will be waiting, and they'll be long gone. Okay? We don't accept fairy tales and myths. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff out there is just that. It's fairy tales and myths. It's faith and belief. Okay? So when something like the demiurge comes up, ask yourself, remember what I said? It's important that we're critical thinkers on this path. It's important we gather the data and the information before we draw our conclusions. But if you've read it somewhere and somebody introduces it to you, and you get all up in your emotions, and now you're looking for outside people to confirm it's real. Yes, it exists in the deep aspects of your subconscious mind. It's where low vibrational frequency, energy, and bands exist. And when you tap into that mentally, yes, it can create problems. Okay? So I want to remove the spookism out of it. Okay? It's no different when you tap into what you would call an archetype / deity or spirit. You tap into it in the aspect of your subconscious mind of everything that you've absorbed. Right? If you were paying attention, the many times I've taught about that over the years, you would understand how I'm trying to tell you. Your mind is the one that is formulating and creating all of this. Okay? Regardless if you are having the experience of some external experience happening. Regardless, it still has its origin in your subconscious mind. People fail to realize how powerful your mind is. I've said for many years, your mind is your greatest ally and it's your greatest enemy. Okay? We know all the information out there over the years, what scientists and spiritualists say. We only use such a low percentage of our brain capacity, this, that, and the other. Right? And look at the rest percentage of the potential we have the ability to tap into. I've told you guys many times before, there's been a war now for many years to captivate your mind, to steal your imagination. And as I said before, the word imagine or imagination has root in the word images, or the English word image. So when you tap into your imagination, your mind is creating imagery that you can connect with on a mental, emotional, and a spiritual level. And the crazy thing is, the thing that they're trying to snatch from you, and the thing that they'll tell you you're crazy when you come up with something outside of their ideology, is the same tool that they used to stamp religion, mythology, faith, and belief in your heart and mind. They did it through the power of their imagination. It's all something they create. Look, I said the same thing. And look, I want to get into the personal shit about Walt Disney, right? I'm not talking about his personal character. Yeah, well, a lot of these motherfuckers got skeletons in their closet, did foul shit. But I use the example of Walt Disney. Look at the legacy he left by the power of his imagination. To this fucking day, people flock into millions upon millions worldwide at different locations to go to Disney World or Disneyland. He created these characters, Mickey Mouse, Pluto, Donald Duck, Daffy Duck. Are they real? Are they literal? Are they real? Should we accept all of the Disney World characters as real? They're very real to Walt Disney. They're very real in the sense that he created it. They're real to an extent that he manifested aspects of this and created a whole magic kingdom, right? On this, to the point motherfuckers flock there as if it's very literal and real. I'm just going to show you how powerful the mind is. Walt Disney literally took something from his subjective consciousness that was very subjective in nature, and he brought it into his objective consciousness and his objective world or realm, and it became very real. You think it's a coincidence he calls that place the Magic Kingdom? Because that was magic. Okay? You guys just got to look at the shit the right way. So now, use that concept with the concept of heaven, hell, the demiurge, this, that, and the other. Now you look at it and you tell me what's your perspective and your thought on it now. Okay? I'm trying to tell you, man, people make shit more complicated than it is. People want to make shit more deeper than it is. And then when people hear or start reading about the demiurge and get spooked out, it makes me wonder, are they still indoctrinated by faith, belief, and religion? Because if you believe it in that context that I said in the beginning, like it's some form of hell, because literally that's how some people promote it, you're more spooked out than religious folks are. Okay? So no, we don't subscribe to that. Okay? I want to make that crystal clear. We don't accept it. I don't teach that it's a literal place that you need to fear. Just like I teach heaven and hell is not real. It's a state of mind. It's something that the authors of the Bible fabricated to create fear to keep you under control. Okay? Because outside of the Bible, you have no data, information to prove, just like the demiurge, that heaven or hell even exists. Okay? We know when we break the words down, you go into Greek, Hades and Haven. We know when we just look at the origin, we see how they took the mythology and made it literal. It becomes real to the individual when they embrace it as fact. Then it becomes real to you. So if you accept in your mind the demiurge is a place where you can go and archons are going to torture you, eat and devour you, that is real to you because you've accepted that in your subconscious mind. Okay? That's simple, folks. It's not that complex. But as I said before, people want to make this shit more complicated than it actually is. See, I can't help, or nobody can help you. No teacher or anybody can help you with that part, okay? The part that I'm talking about is what you accept and believe is real. I can't help you with that. You got to help yourself with that part. It's as easy. I always tell people this who come out of, say, other religions. Just as easy as you is accepted a faith and belief system, a religion, a dogma, or ideology, it's just as easy to reject it. You never stopped and thought about that, right? Just think, the moment somebody introduces something to you, in that moment, you either make a conscious decision to embrace and accept it on whatever level, undisputed truth, or you accept it to a degree, whatever. But in that moment, you make a conscious decision whether that becomes a reality to you or not. That part I can't help you with. Now, we have over the years embraced a lot of these ideologies and concepts that are wrong. And they've caused a lot of mental programming and indoctrination. And then you know the process and what we do on this path and the work we must do to deprogram ourselves or our minds or our brains so we can reprogram our subconscious mind with the right data, with the right information, with the correct knowledge that we need. And as I said before, unfortunately, be careful getting caught in the book trap, right? What's the book trap? I talk about this all the time. Books are great. I love books. I'm a book collector. I got probably more books than I could even see with my eyes and count with my hands. But as I said before, books ain't the tell-all. Sometimes people think they're going to find every single answer, every truth, every little thing they're looking for, they think is going to be in a book. And as I said before, books are just guidelines and roadmaps to the truth. See, you got some people think there's going to be always some reference or some source to find in a book. And sometimes the only way you're going to obtain real truth is through your spiritual work. You're not going to find everything in a book. You're not going to find everything from a teacher, a lecturer, an elder, a guru. You're not going to find everything from me. I can't answer all your questions because some of it has to be experienced. People sometimes ask questions that the only way they're going to get answers to some of those questions is by experiencing it. People ask questions outside of three-dimensional things, person, place, and thing. So you want to ask a mortal a question that vibrates out of three-dimensional existence, and then they have to use three-dimensional concepts to get you to understand it. It doesn't work like that. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. Okay? What you're doing is you limit your understanding when you're just depending on a book or somebody or something. Because there's a lot of revelations, awakenings, experiences you have in your ritual work that just can't sometimes be explained from some book or some source. Okay? It's very important we understand that and we're in that mind frame. Because if we don't, then it's easy for us to fall for anything. And this is how they established that from the get-go, right? It started with us as a young child. We were all, especially here in the West, right? Majority of us, to a degree, we were introduced to this bullshit, this mental indoctrination as small children. And then they have places where they send you, schools where they teach these curriculums and they stamp it in your head. It's all form of programming. You gotta deprogram yourself. Same thing with the demiurge. Okay, so no, I don't teach it's a place, a literal place. Because I've had people reach out to me, email me, they believe it's a literal place. Well, I can't help you with that. I'm not going to co-sign on that. It's not. Okay? You don't have to agree with me. I couldn't give two shits. Right? But I'm not going to teach that, nor do I agree with it. Okay? Because the burden of proof is on you. If you say it's real and it's literal, how are you going to prove that? What are you going to... outside of what you read or what you heard somebody say or what you saw, this, that, and the other, how are you going to prove factually that it's a literal place? You can't. Okay? Don't set yourself up. That's like you having a personal experience in your ritual work and expect everybody to co-sign it and accept it. It's very real to you, but the problem is it's not real to everybody else because they didn't have that experience. Okay, so how would you validate and prove that? I told you that's the problem, man. You got a lot of these people on these conscious platforms and these, all over YouTube, getting on there talking about how they get downloads and how they get messages, and they want people to co-sign on these personal experiences they have that are subjective in nature. And it's for them subjectively, and it's personal, but they want you to co-sign on it. They want you to agree with it. No, that's not how this works. If I hear somebody that has a personal, hey, cool, you had a personal experience. Maybe there's some similarity there I could vibe with you on. But if not, hey, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not gonna just simply accept it because you said you had that experience, or you said this is what it is. And just like I'm not telling you right now what I'm telling you about the demiurge to accept. I can only tell you based on my research, my experience through my work, and that I won't teach that spooky ass aspect of it. Outside of that, you don't have to agree with it. That's your choice. Again, as I said, I couldn't give a shit. That's your business. But I will address when people are reaching out to me and emailing me about this shit. It's you know, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad because at what point do we let go of this low vibrational thinking? Okay? A lot of us say we're on this path and we're reading, you know, quote unquote, or we're tapped into this high level of spirituality. Excuse me. But we still have low vibrational frequency thoughts. And that's basically what the demiurge is. It's the lower vibrational frequency aspect of yourself. Okay? And yes, you can tap into it when you work spiritually through your rituals. Okay? But like anything else on this path, you are the navigator, the controller. Okay? Look, shadow work helps you uncover a lot of that stuff. Stuff that needs to be addressed before you can continue, you know, or get to the point where you can get the results and reap the benefits of being on this path and really take it to that next level of personal transformation. When you have these low vibrational frequency thoughts and you keep yourself stuck in that low vibrational frequency way of thinking, this is kind of when you become at a standstill. This is when it becomes difficult for you. Sometimes people will describe it feels like I'm at a standstill. I'm not moving forward. I'm not moving back. Look, I can't stress to you guys enough. Understand the power of your mind. Okay? Your mind, man, listen. As I said a few minutes back, it's an intricate thing. Your mind can create problems for you when you don't understand the power of it. Okay? It's where all fears come from. Doubt, concerns, when in regards to what we would label negative. So it's important that you get that in order. Okay? So long story short, not to get too long-winded, I'm going to wrap this video up. I know I kind of veered off a little bit into other topics, but it was connected. Needed to be said. Go back and read your 7 Hermetic Principles. Okay? The 7 Hermetic Principles of Tahuti. Okay? Go back and read them. That's the blueprint. It's one of the foundational pieces to really understanding this path. Go back. All is mental. Mental is all. The universe is mental. I should say the multiverse is mental. It needs to be updated. But that's what the demiurge is. So I hope I explained to you what it's not. And now you also know what it is. Again, if you need to reach out to me for a spiritual consultation or a reading, or you want information on how to attend the 6th annual Journey of the Black Adept Conference, either in person or virtually, or you need the direct link to the Primordial Chaos podcast, all of that, the link to the podcast, the link to the Patreon page to sign up for classes, and my contact email address is in the description box of this video that you're watching. All right? That's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully it has helped remove some of that spookiness that some people just having fun suffer from. All right, we'll talk soon. Final blessings.